Hey guys, so, let's go. Let's go. You ready to go? I'm ready to go. So today I'm going to talk to you about kind of like a hodgepodge globulated mixture of a bunch of stuff. But it all makes sense when it comes to what do you want out of life. So I really am not going to talk about what do you want out of life because that's so cheeky. But I'm going to talk to you how it relates to trying the ketogenic diet and drive ketosis. Or getting the business, right? Because that's what we all want. We want the business. And people tune into me because, you know, at first they get past all the silliness. Yeah, you got to get past that silliness to get to those kernels of information. But they're there. They are there. So we've got our brain, we have our body, and our body is just kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like, it's like a machine in a sense. It's not really our consciousness, but it does things, right? We have a consciousness that we cannot quantify. But at the same time, our physical body, kind of, if it's out of whack, it can control our mind or our perception of things. So people tune into me because they go, wow, this woman is 47 years old. She has a busted knee. I haven't run in, gosh, it's 21 years now. I haven't run. And I was a runner. I haven't run in 21 years because that's how long it's been since I injured my knee as a pro-vert skateboarder. But with that said, with me talking about epigenetics and methylation and all this kind of stuff, your mind can be hijacked by your chemicals. We don't want that. We want this machine to be able to send out through our consciousness or our emotions. We want this to take control back of the machine, right? That's what we want. I sometimes talk about, like, what do you guys want? You know, you have to think about, like, what do you want? Do you want shiny toys? Do you want material things? Because if you want those things, and if you desire those things, you could be low in serotonin. Your tryptamines could be all messed up. You know, you want this melatonin high at night while you sleep, and you want a serotonin bump high in the day to make you feel what? In balance. This is balance. But we're not in balance because we're not sleeping, and then we're not sleeping when we're supposed to be, and then we're jacked up wide awake in the middle of the night, and then we want to fall asleep at our desk. So I'm keto coaching, and it really starts coming down to what's going on inside people's emotions. And so this is why some of the content is driving this direction. But with that said, so you want to have the business. You want to get ripped. Can you do it in ketogenesis? Yes. Yes, you need to get your macronutrients right. Absolutely. Yesterday I did a very quick video about stop trying to go down to 70% fat, total fat in a day, and no calories do not matter because it is the state of your metabolism, the rate at which your individual body will burn fat, or the state of your hormones that will be indicative of the calorie. But with that said, if you have the right percentages of your macronutrients in the right order and timing and type of food, you can cross that bridge over to ketosis land and get what? The business. Because that's what we want. And not only that, we don't want to just be physically whatevers. We want to have energy. Yeah. We want to be awake. We want to be lucid. And we want to feel balanced with enough of the right serotonin. A lot of you guys, your serotonin is going down regulated because of stress, lack of sleep, you're not methylating, and because of sugar. Carbohydrates is sugar. People still are asking what is a carb. It is everything except for pure fat. Even in protein, you have very trace small amounts of carbohydrate. Or if you eat too much protein, that excess protein that your body cannot metabolize as you're chewing and chomping and it's digesting and getting into the bloodstream to the cell, what you can, if you overstuff, the leftover bits get converted back into glucose. So it's very ironic and strange that protein, which has very trace amounts of carbohydrate, can actually convert into quite a lot of glucose in the blood, keeping you from your keto adaptation. But I digress. What do you want? Why are you doing this? Time in and time out, I'm doing consultations with people that have that are type 2 diabetics. I mean, terrible autoimmune disorder. Woman today had high blood pressure, and the first thing that we mentioned was her weight. And I'm like, who cares about the weight? The weight is irrelevant. You know what's relevant? The state of your health, how balanced you are, and you want to not have MTFR, go and start mutating and starting to turn on bad genetics. I know it's this kind of complex system in the body, but my whole purpose is to take some of the complex terms and put them in real layman's terms, because you're not going to retain the information if you just start going down, chopping down biochemistry. It's like, snore, really? So I've spoken about epigenetics, I've spoken about serotonin, I've spoken about brain chemicals, oxytocin. Yes, when you are attracted to somebody, when you miss somebody, when you break up and all you do is think about that person like on rotation, on rotation, on rotation, which creates a stress signal in the body, which down-regulates your serotonin and your melatonin. I mean, we are often in serotonin 1, we're in our thinking brain, but we really want to feel emotionally, spiritually, which is very, very strange because we can't explain the spiritual. But really, if you think about it, I mean, we are warehouses to something that's hard to quantify, like quantum physics, one of my favorite subjects, but I digress. The point is that every emotion that you experience is going to affect your DNA. You might be able to go and buy a shiny thing, but that's like trying to fill in a hole that has no bottom. So you have to go into the self, and you have to tinker and twist and push buttons to get your body back in balance. That's what you have to do. So things that get serotonin bump back up is, yes, try the ketogenic non-BS diet / lifestyle to get into a state of ketosis, which is very primal. It's incredibly primal. Where are we? Oh my goodness. Yes, okay. It kind of puts you on that kind of like next to the symbolic God in a religious sense. It's so interesting, these cultures around the world, that the way they use kind of Ayurvedic methods, and also herbs and adaptogenic herbs and meditative states, and all of these things are affecting your body. I mean, we in the traditional, conventional first world economy, we use pharmaceuticals and shiny things to be able to find our balance, but it's not working. Things are becoming down-regulated. So we have to literally dig freaking deep and sound like a freaking hippie and go find out emotionally what is the problem and how your emotions are affecting your cells, how your emotions affect somebody else's emotions, that if you're in a crappy mood, it's probably going to affect the people around you. With that said, so in the beginning I was just like, yes, you got to get your macros in order, you have to get your hormones in balance, but you really have to figure out what you want out of doing this type of lifestyle. Everybody keeps wanting the quick fix to get the business, but it's not going to happen. This is a 47-year-old body with a ton of inflammation and a ton of injuries from being a pro skateboarder. I cannot run or jump or lunge or squat. So how I feel, has everything to do with how I look. My body is a reflection of my mind. And we have 70,000 thoughts a day. And over 90% of those 70,000 thoughts are what we thought of yesterday and the day before. So we're on autopilot. We don't actually stop, get off our social media, get off our phones, and pay attention, because that's how you get the body you want. Start paying attention. When I do my consultations with people, some people are like, bam, they get it. And some people are still going, why? I cut down my coffee so low, Steph. Why can't I get rid of it? And I've said before, if you feel so married to any type of thing in the external world, you're going to age and you're not going to methylate properly. Because it's all about moving and breathing and being flexible. And when you're stuck to any one concept that has nothing to do with your survival, literally life and death, you're jacked. You're going to age and you're not going to get the body you want. You have to get your cortisol down. And that's really the point of this video. Because how do you get your cortisol down? We are freaking cortisol machines. Push the buttons terminally on, and we are just stressed out, stressed out, stressed out, stressed out, stressed out. I know exactly when I'm stressed out. I could feel the most good, thankful, appreciative, like happy-go-lucky, and I'm like, We're constantly on a quest of something because we never feel completely fulfilled. Not really, especially in the modern world. It's like we wake up, we are instantly, and I mean instantly, distracted by technology. And technology does a thing called decision fatigue. You have all these things in a day. And this is Stephanie to a T. I gotta do this, 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 and this, and this, and this, and this. Cranking at it, cranking it out, cranking it out. Now I don't feel stressed because all the stuff that I've got to do, I really like doing. But it's too much stuff at one time. So decision fatigue is a real thing. It can downregulate your serotonin that makes you feel balanced, and now you feel kind of depressed and you shouldn't because your life really is good. But what about oxytocin, that you're secreting oxytocin around the wrong person? Now you're glued to somebody who's bad for you because really deep down inside, you do not feel fulfilled. So to get to that one central emotion of fulfillment, you've got to deconstruct everything in your life and everything that you feel married to. The way you wipe your ass, yeah? The same locker that you go to at the gym, the same street that you drive to go to your job, the same way, the same place that you put your cup on your desk or whatever you do that's a routine is what is destroying your body, because those things have nothing to do with your survival. And with all of that, then we've got to make decisions like this. Boom, boom, bills, job, this, that, whatever. And I mean, my life is so amazing, and yet I'm still covered and swimming in decision fatigue. So that means that I'm still getting too high levels of cortisol. And that means that my body is still inflamed. And that means that my methylation cycle is not going to be as high functioning as it should be, with methyl groups going around and fixing things by turning off stuff and turning on things in my DNA. You can only do the best you can, but don't think that you're doing your best. Your best is way higher than what you think. I tell people, tell your kids. A woman today is like, I'm trying to be more healthy, but my kids are still eating sugar and carbs and bread. And I'm like, it can't work, hon. You guys have to work as a team, as a unit together. Because if you don't work as a unit, it's going to be self-sabotage, and it's going to crash and burn, and it's not going to work. You have to turn off your TV by 6 p.m. Oh my God, life is not fun. If I keep hearing people say have a little fun, then I feel sorry for those people, because what's fun to them is alcohol in a bottle. Remember when you were a kid and there was none of that? Yes, get in contact with your nervous system. Yeah! yeah, yeah.